Okay, we're live streaming and now we're recording. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Go Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Madhava Kunjabi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Jai Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jasuranandana Brajajanaranjana Jasuranandana Brajajanaranjana Jasuranandana Brajajanaranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Jai Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Sodanandana Brajajanaranjana Sodanandana Brajajanaranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Radha Madhava Punjabi Radha Madhava Punjabi Jai Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jasodanandana Brajajanaranjana Jasodanandana Brajajanaranjana Sudhanandana Brajajanaranjana Sudhanandana Brajajanaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Radha Madhava Punjabi Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Radha Madhava Punjabi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Punjabi Hari Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivara Dhari Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivara Dhari Jasodanandana Bhaja Jana Jasodanandana Bhaja Janaranjana Sodanandana Bhaja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Chari Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Radha Madhava Kunjabi Sisi Radha Madhava Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Oh, Premanandi. Hare Hare. So one moment, I have to just put my keyboard back. Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Shaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Samyavari Paschachya Satarine Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Today we're going to speak about beliefs. Believe it or not, that's what we're going to speak about. And where's our translator?
Jamuna Priya. Hare Krishna, Jamuna Priya. Guru Maharaj, could you please set me the co-host so I can record?
It's already recording.
Okay. Jamuna Priya.
I've done everything. Looks like you might have bad internet connection, Jamuna Priya.
Okay, so I can translate first. 今天我们是谈一下信念，关于信念的部分。
Last week we had a class on faith, on the topic of faith.
上一周我们讲到了关于信心，是信心的一课。
And we were talking about how there are sometimes statements in scriptures which we have no way to validate other than the authority of the acharyas. We can't experiment with them.
我们上次谈到了关于在经典当中提到的信心的一个定义，以及那些先前的阿查亚们他们是如何具有坚不可摧的信心。
But that faith is strengthened when we practice Krishna consciousness and we get realization.
那信心的意思是说，我们通过在实践 Krishna 知觉的当中，我们逐渐的建立对信心，加强自己的信心。
And conversely, the faith is weakened when we don't practice well because we don't get realization.
但是如果我们就是修行的不够好，变得越来越弱的话，那我们的信心也会随之的变弱。
How do you know something tastes good? You have to eat it to know.
你想要知道某个东西的味道是如何的吗？那你必须要亲自去品尝。
Sometimes it tastes good, but you don't cook it well. So then it doesn't taste good. So that's your fault.
就有时我们吃一个东西它很好吃，但是你自己做你却做不出那么好的味道，所以你必须要亲自去实践。
I don't like potatoes because every time I cook potatoes, I burn them. So I think potatoes don't taste good.
我不喜欢吃土豆，因为每次我做土豆都把它给烧糊了，所以我觉得，我的土豆，我自己做出来土豆味道不好。
So sometimes we don't execute devotional service properly, then we don't get realization, and then our faith can weaken.
所以有时候是因为我们没有恰当的去履行 Krishna 知觉，去实践它，所以我们没有从中得到很好的觉悟，我们没有品味，因此我们才没有建立起强大的信心。
I don't understand how Krishna's in his holy name. I just, when I chant, I just get sleepy.
我不知道圣名有什么品味，因为我念诵的时候我要打瞌睡。
It says in the scripture, Krishna's in his holy name. You would think if I met Krishna, I'd wake up, but instead I chant and I fall asleep.
在经典当中说，Krishna 就是圣名，但是我念诵圣名的时候，我却完全没有体会到这一点。当我一拿起念珠，我就昏昏欲睡，所
Because
以没有觉悟。
I'm usually making the offensive inattention, distraction. And so I don't really experience Krishna's presence. And then I can lose faith in the power of the holy name because I don't experience it.
因为我是处在念诵，处在冒犯以及分心当中去念诵。我对 Krishna 知觉当中说的圣名就是 Krishna 本人，没有办法建立起感同身受，所以我对经典当中说的这个话没有信心，是因为我本人没有觉悟。
That's the danger.
这是很危险的。
Because we are asked to believe things which we may not be able to experience in our present state.
因为我们要去相信一个目前我们还没有觉悟、没有体验到的东西，这其实是有一些困难的。
So that was a little bit of a summary, a little bit of, I think, the main idea of what we spoke about last week.
所以这就是上一周我们讲课的一些重要内容。
And how faith is a natural function of consciousness.
以及信心如何是我们知觉的一个基石。
We also mentioned that if we lack faith in something, it's usually because we have faith in something else. Not that we have no faith, not that we don't have faith in anything.
并且我们还提到说，我们缺乏信心，是因为我们把信心建立在了别的事情上，而不是这件事情上，所以我们对这件事情就缺少了信心。
So nobody can say they don't have faith.
没有人能说他们没有信心。
I don't have faith I can be Krishna conscious in this life means I have faith that I can't be Krishna conscious in this life.
我说我这一世对 Krishna 没有信心，那是表示说，我觉得我这一世达不到，我对我这一世达不到 Krishna 知觉这个信念有信心。
Does that make sense to you?
是不是有道理呢？
It's not that you don't have faith.
所以并不是你没有信心，没有信念。
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about a little bit of a different aspect of the topic of faith, and that's the topic of how what we believe is affecting our reality.
今天我们将要讲述关于信念的一个不同的方面，我们会讲到信念是如何影响到我们的现实生活。
You may have heard this story I've told before about a lion who, when he was a cub, was abandoned by his parents, and he was raised by bears.
你们可能听到我讲过的一个故事，就是关于一头狮子，它是被放在一个羊群里面长大，然后它就不知道自己原来是狮子的这个故事。
So bear cubs and lion cubs look very similar, and the bear cubs thought he was actually a bear, and so they adopted him.
是熊群，就是那头狮子，它是长在熊群里面被养大，然后它不知道它自己是狮子，它以为自己是一头熊，然后它是带着这样的信念去生长。
So here you have a lion that believes he's a bear. He doesn't know. And the bears reinforce that. You are a bear.
那头狮子呢，它以为它是熊，它不知道它原本是狮子，而抚养它的那群熊，他们也不断的强化说你就是一头熊。
So when he becomes a little older, then he starts to look different and he doesn't look like a bear anymore. But they don't know he's a lion and he doesn't know he's a lion.
然后随着他慢慢的长大，他就会发现他自己的行为方式跟其他的那些熊有区别，然后他就会觉得很奇怪，因为他不知道他是一头狮子，然后其他的熊也会觉得他很奇怪。
Kind of like if you had a Chinese man who was black. That'd be like, you don't have black Chinese people.
就像比如说，在你们中国人当中有一个黑皮肤的人，他看起来不像你们中国人长相。
And everybody would think, what's wrong with him?
然后每个人都会说，这个人怎么这么奇怪，皮肤怎么这么黑？
So they were thinking, what's wrong with this bear? Something is wrong with him.
所以那群熊他们就会觉得这头狮子怎么长得这么奇怪，跟我们都长得不一样。
And, families are always worried about what the neighbors will think. So the bears were worried about what the neighbors will think. And they said, you can't stay in our family because you're an embarrassment to the family lineage and all the neighbors will think you're strange and it's going to ruin our reputation. So you have to go.
然后因为这个熊的家族，他们慢慢看到这头不一样的熊异类之后，然后其他邻居们都会纷纷的议论，他们考虑到自己家族的声望，然后他们也觉得这个事情有点丢人，他们就跟那个那个狮子说，他说你最好还是离开我们的家，因为到处都众说纷纭。
So first he was abandoned by his parents. Now he's abandoned by his adopted family. So he's very upset, very depressed.
这头狮子原本是狮子的熊呢，它开始是被他的父母所拒绝，然后是被整个熊的这个家庭、这个家族所拒绝，他就变得非常的沮丧、郁郁寡欢，他不知道发生了什么。
Now there's a devotee who knew him when he was a little lion cub. And his name was Kashi. So the devotee met him. Devotee was out on Sankirtan in the jungle distributing books to all the animals out there. And he met Kashi. And he saw Kashi was very upset.
然后有一个奉献者，那个奉献者正在丛林里拍书，他就碰到了这头熊，这个狮子的熊，然后他是从小就看到这个狮子被那个熊的家族带去捕养的，所以他是知道原委的，他知道这头狮子原本是一头狮子，然后这个狮子的名字叫卡西，他就去见卡西，就去告诉他。
He said, Kashi, why do you look so depressed? What happened?
他就去问卡西，你怎么看起来这么的郁郁寡欢？发生了什么事情呢？
And he said, look at me. There's something wrong with me. No bears look like this. I'm the only bear that looks like this.
然后卡西就说：“你看看我这副长相，太奇怪了，没有一头熊像我长得这样。我是一个异类。”
And the devotee said, I don't know what you're talking about. Why are you saying you're a bear? You're not a bear.
然后这个奉献就说：“你在说什么呀？你怎么说自己是头熊呢？你根本就不是一头熊。”
He said, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a bear. I'm just like a deformed bear. And my life is ruined. Everybody laughs at me.
然后那个卡西就说：“你在说什么呢？我是一头熊，我长得这么奇怪，我毁了整个家族的名声。”就是他自己觉得很羞耻。
Now, has your mind ever believed something that isn't true and made you depressed?
所以呢，我们为我们深信不疑的事非常的坚定，并且我们为这些事情感到沮丧。
Of course.
当
Of
然，
course. Yeah.
当然，因为他深信不疑，他是一头熊。
Now, it's not true, but he's thinking it's true. He's believing it's true. And therefore, it's affecting him as if it's true, although it's not true.
因为我们深深的相信，我们以为的就是真实的，然后我们也按照我们所相信的去行为，所以就会导致一系列的结果。
Well, the story has a happy ending because the devotee convinced Kashi he was a lion. And when Kashi understood he was a lion, he became quite happy because lion is the king of the jungle.
但是这个故事却有一个很美好的结尾，就是这位奉献者说服了卡西去相信他自己原来不是一只熊，他是一头狮子。然后卡西慢慢的接受了，原来他是一头狮子，他是林中之王，因此他从此就开始按照狮子的方式去生活。
So we use this story as an example of beliefs. He believed he was a bear, and then the devotee changed that belief to you're actually a lion. Now he believes he's a lion, and now he's okay.
所以这个故事呢，就是告诉我们，这个奉献者他改变了卡西的信念，他让他从相信自己是一头熊，变成相信自己原本是狮子，并且以狮子的方式去行为，从此他就生活得很快乐。
Have you ever been in the dark and thought something was there that wasn't there, and you became very concerned or fearful?
所以你们大家有没有这样的经验？就是当你们有时候会相信某一个事情，其实是不存在的事情，或者跟现实有悖的事情，但是你们深信不疑，并且为此变得很恐惧、很害怕。
Again, the mind, we're believing something, or we're thinking we're seeing something like a snake, but it's not a snake. But we become fearful because we believe it's a snake.
就像那个蛇，就是那个我们把那个绳子误以为是蛇，然后就看到绳子的那个影子，就以为是蛇，因此而害怕的那个故事。
So this story of Kashi is actually everybody's story.
所以其实这个卡西的故事，它是我们每个人的故事。
You grow up and you start believing things, and they become your reality.
你成长过程当中，你逐渐的接受了一些东西，然后你对这些接受的东西深信不疑，并且你以为那就是现实。
I'm good or I'm bad.
我很好，我很糟。
I'm beautiful, I'm ugly, I'm smart, I'm stupid.
我很漂亮，我很丑，我很聪明，我很笨。
I bet you know people who are not that smart who think they're smart.
我可以保证，有时候你以为有些人很聪明，但可能他们实际没有你以为的那么聪明。
And you may have met people who are very smart who don't think they are.
而且有些你遇到的你觉得非常聪明的人，但他们自己并不觉得自己聪明。
So when the mind gets an idea, it begins to process it and act as if that were true.
所以我们的心意给大脑输出了一个信念，一个想法，然后我们接受了，我们就会按照这个想法去行动。
So we all have many beliefs.
所以我们每个人都有很多不同的信念。
And the beliefs are what you might call subconscious programming.
pardon, good day, didn't get the meaning.
Subconscious.
Subconscious 潜意识 OK 所以我们潜意识实际都会相信我们以为的这些事情。
Subconscious means you believe something, but you're not conscious that you believe it.
潜意识的意思就是说，你对某些事情是相信的，但你不知道你相信它。
And that belief is influencing you.
而那个信念是在影响着你的。
So I'm going to go off a little bit and I'll come back to this topic, but I want to talk about something else first.
所以我们稍微延伸了一点，现在我们又转回到我们今天要讲的课题当中，就是关于信念如何影响我们的现实。
Have you ever tried to do something and no matter how hard you tried, you never really became as successful as you wanted?
你们有没有这样的经验？就是不论你们如何努力去尝试某件事情，你总是发现你成功不了。
And you're doing all the right things.
一切你都做得周到、面面俱到了，但你就是没法成功。
If that happens, often the reason is that we have either a belief that we cannot succeed, or perhaps a belief that if we do succeed, it'll be painful or it'll be difficult to deal with the success.
所以我们发生这个的原因是，通常我们背后有一个隐形的信念，就是我是没有办法成功的，我不可能成功，或者是如果在这件事情上我成功的，我会很困难，会很痛苦。
So if you try to do something, and you're not aware of it, you may be subconsciously defeating yourself by what you believe about the thing you're trying to do.
所以表面上你在试图努力的去做某件事情的时候，但有可能你的潜意识正在对抗这样的一个想法，就是他是完全不相信你可以去做这件事情的。
So you might be thinking, I could never do that.
然后所以你就可能会想，我做不了，我肯定没法做。
But you may not even know that you have that belief because it's subconscious.
但你可能不知道的就是，实际上是那个潜意识在影响你，你的潜意识相信你不能，你做不到。
So if ever you're having difficulty achieving something, there's a good chance you have a belief that's running counter to what you want to achieve.
所以当你想要达成某件事情，而你没有达成的时候，很有可能就是在你的潜意识里面有跟它对抗的一个信念，那个信念是说你无法达成此事。
For example,
比如说，
I have spoken to devotees who do not believe that they can become Krishna conscious in this lifetime.
比如说我告诉2个奉献者，你们谁相信你这一世不能达到 Krishna 知觉，不能成功达到 Krishna 知觉。
Have you ever tried to do something and you believe that you can't do it? Doesn't that make it more difficult?
你是不是曾经试过那些你觉得很困难的事，你没法做到的事，然后你觉得特别的难，做起来特别的难。
And while you're doing it, you're telling yourself, I can't do this.
然后当你这么做了之后，你就告诉我做不到，不行。
Have you ever done that?
你们这么做过吗？
Or subconsciously done that?
或者你们的潜意识这么做了吗？
Yeah. So now, if I am trying to be Krishna conscious and consciously or subconsciously, I'm telling myself, I don't think I can, how does that affect me?
那如果说我们在意识层面和潜意识层面都告诉自己我没有办法做那件事情，那这样的信念会如何影响到我们呢？
Well, when you have difficulties, then it confirms your belief that you can't, and it makes your belief stronger.
所以当你面对困难的时候，你告诉自己我不行，那这样的一个行为就会强化到你认为我不行的这个信念，就会越加让你相信我没法做到。
Have you ever told yourself, I don't think I can become Krishna conscious in this life?
你们有没有告诉过自己我这一世是没有办法达到 Krishna 知觉的？有没有这么对自己说过？
And if you have, think about this. You want to be Krishna conscious, but now you have a belief that is diametrically opposed to what you want. And that's a problem.
所以如果你们有刚才提到的这种想法的话，你们就要告诉自己，其实是因为我有这样的想法，我认为我在这一世达不到 Krishna 知觉，而这样的想法耽误了，或者是误导了我认为自己没有办法成功。
Now, it may not be your fault. You may lack self-confidence. And so you just bring it to Krishna consciousness and you lack confidence you can be a devotee. Maybe you lack confidence in everything. That's just how you're conditioned.
所以这是因为我们缺乏信心，我们缺乏信心，认为自己不能成为一个很好的奉献者，或者我们在很多的奉爱服务方面都缺乏信心，那这是我们自己的过错，我们就需要在这上面去做一些工作。
My point is, there's a certain way of thinking, a certain way of believing that you're going to have to adopt if you want to be Krishna conscious or you want to achieve anything.
所以我们要点就是说，我们去思考的时候有一种特定的思考方式，就是我是可以达成的这个事情的。那如果我们植入这样的思维方式的话，我们在其他任何事情上也可以这么去做。
So acting is not enough. The beliefs also have to align with your goals.
所以行动还是不够的，因为我们需要去设定一个你的信念，把它作为一个目标，需要去相信。
I have never chanted good rounds. I could never chant good rounds.
我从来没有念过好圈数，我永远也不可能念诵好圈数。
Now, the problem with that is that beliefs begin to manifest in reality.
有可能你的这个信念它会展示为现实。
So this is the problem, and it's kind of scary.
所以这是个问题，我不是吓唬大家。
If you believe you cannot chant good rounds, then subconsciously what happens is you don't chant good rounds in order to confirm your belief.
因为如果你相信你没有办法念诵好圈数的话，你的潜意识会试图说服你去相信这样一个信念，那有可能在你的现实当中呈现出来的就是你不可能念出好的圈数。
Isn't that crazy?
是不是很可怕、很疯狂？
Because I have a belief, so subconsciously it's programmed, I don't even know I have it, and then I act to confirm it. So if I think I can't do something, I make sure it's not conscious, but I make sure that I don't do it because my belief is I need to confirm my belief. Scary. Or it helps you also, positive or negative.
所以就是如果我们有这样一个信念，就认为我没有办法达成某个事情，或者没有办法念诵好圈数，我们的这个潜意识为了说服我们相信这个信念，它就会指挥我们在外在行动上去展示出我们没有 念好圈数的这样的行为，而这个行为又会强化我们确实我没有办法念诵好圈数这样一个信念，所以这是一个很可怕的事情。但是它有积极的一面，如果你是一个积极的信念的话，它呈现出来的就是一个积极的循环。
Let me give you an example.
比如说，
Let's say you're trying to make money,
比如说我们打算挣钱，
but you actually you don't really care about money. You don't think it's that important.
但实际上你内心是很害怕钱，对钱有恐惧，你认为那个挣钱不重要。
You say things like, money's not everything, and rich people are, they're bad people. You have all these beliefs about money.
然后你会说钱不是很重要，然后那些有钱人他们都是一些不好的人，这个我不需要挣钱。如果你是这么想的话，
And your next door neighbor thinks, no, money's good. I like money, money's good.
然后你的邻居却说，钱是个好东西，钱非常好，可以做很多事情。
And you both go to a seminar about how to make money. Who do you think is going to make more money, you or him?
那你们俩都同时去参加了一个关于金钱的进修营或那个进修营，那你会认为哪一个人会更加有收获呢？
Easy to answer, obviously.
答案是显而易见的。
Two couples are married, devotee couples.
两对奉献者的夫妇结婚，
One devotee couple puts high value on their relationship, on having a good relationship.
其中一对呢非常在乎彼此的关系，
Another devotee couple says, it doesn't matter what kind of relationship we have. It only matters what kind of relationship we have with Krishna.
然后另一对就说我们之间的关系怎么样无所谓，我们只要对 Krishna 有关系就行，他不在乎夫妻之间的关系。
Which couple is going to get along better?
那哪一对夫妇会长长久久呢？
The one who believes the relationship is important, or the one who believes the relationship is not important?
是那一对相信他们夫妻之间关系非常重要的那对夫妻呢，还是说认为他们之间的关系一点都不重要的那对夫妻？
If you're 2 years old or older, you can answer the question correctly.
如果你是才2岁的话，你可能没有办法正确回答这个问题。
You have 2 devotees.
有2位奉献者，
One thinks it's important to be Krishna conscious in this life.
一位相信我这一世要达到 Krishna 知觉是非常重要的，
One thinks it's too difficult and I could never be Krishna conscious in this life.
另一个说太困难了，我这一世达到 Krishna 难，简直比登天还难。
Who's going to be more successful?
那谁会更成功呢？
Now, here's the problem. This is easy to understand.
这非常容易理解的。
What's not easy to understand all the time is whether or not I have those beliefs.
难在理解起来有困难的就是我们不知道我是不是有那样一个信念。
I've been married 14 times. I've been divorced 14 times. Why don't these relationships work?
我已经结过14次婚，我也离过14次婚，我都不知道为什么我的婚姻状况老是搞成这个样子。
Of course, we know from Bhagavatam, marriage is Maya.
因为我们从博家梵歌当中知道，婚姻是玛雅，
And woman is just going to drag me down because women are so materialistic and they just like clothes and jewelry and kids and nice homes. So, that's why it doesn't work.
因为经典当中说了，女人，婚姻是玛雅，女人是我们的一个绊脚石，她总是会把我们，就是会束缚我们，家庭、孩子，夫妻生活，这些都是我灵修当中的障碍。
And he has no idea why his marriages don't work. He blames the women, all 14 of them. It's all their fault.
所以他是这样来看待他的婚姻，看待他的妻子，所以这就是他会离14次婚的原因。
And if you're over 3 years old, you can understand it's his fault.
如果你是13岁以上的人的话，你可能会对此有一点点的概念。
Yeah. So sometimes we're setting ourselves up to fail and we don't even know it.
因为有时候我们的设置就是说这件事情我成功不了，我没法做这件事情，但这个设定是往往是我们不知道的。
So this is the first main point I want to make about beliefs. If you're trying to achieve something and you continually fail, you probably have a belief that you can't succeed and you don't know that you have that belief.
所以我们今天讲的第一个要点就是说，你希望你达成某件事情的时候，但是你又往往在这件事情上屡屡失败，那通常是因为你背后有一个信念，就是你不相信自己可以做成这件事情。
So whenever you're making a very big effort to achieve some form of success and you just keep failing, it may not always be the belief, but you want to ask yourself, what belief might I have that's causing this problem?
所以当你不断的努力，持续努力，但是你却看到自己总是屡屡失败的时候，这个时候你就需要问一下自己，我这背后到底有什么样的信念呢？
Here's another belief. I always fail.
因为你通常可能会有另一个信念，就是我总是会失败的。
Now, what does a person do who has the belief I always fail? They fail in order to validate their belief.
那为什么这个人会屡屡失败呢？因为他是要通过他的失败来验证他的那个信念，就是我是会失败的。
What does the person who has the belief I always win do? Win. I always win.
那关于如果有一个人他有这样的信念，就是我一定会成功的，那他会做什么呢？
They somehow figure out how to win, like Donald Trump. He figured out how to become president.
他就会像川普总统一样，总是想我怎么样成功，怎么样赢得选票。
Because he just has that consciousness. I always win. I'll win president. I win everything.
因为他的信念就是我要赢，我要成功。他的专注就是我怎么样可以取得成功。
Okay, so now pay attention to what I'm going to say next. It's practical.
所以他不会把他的注意力放到那些障碍上面，那些阻碍他的事情上。
Because many of you are thinking, well, how do I actually know what I believe if it's subconscious?
那现在就是你们大家就会想，我怎么样来知道我这个信念背后下面的那个潜意识当中的信念呢？
So think of something that you consistently fail in, or think of something that you consistently do and you don't really understand why you do it.
那就想想你一直在做的这些事情，以及你一直在做的不断重复的这些行为，他们在展示什么？他们这些表现出你在相信什么？
Like, some people, they're always 5 minutes late. Doesn't matter what time it starts, they're always 5 minutes late. You know those people?
Yes. 我们会看到有一些人，他们总是会迟到，就总是会迟到那么5分钟，每次都是。
Or those people who they have 3 months to do something, but they start 3 hours before it's due.
I didn't get the meaning.
You have a job and you have 3 months to finish, and you always start 3 hours before the job has to be done. You always put it off to the end.
就是你有一个事情本来是3个小时就可以做完的，但是你往往就是拖延，乃至于3个月都没有完成，总是会这样子拖延它。
So you find something in your life that you like to change.
所以你就会发现我们的生活当中是有很多东西是需要被改变的。
Something you consistently do that you want to change.
你不断的去做某些事情，你不断的尝试想要去改变某些事情。
Well, let's say it's procrastination.
Procrastination.
That means you put it off till the end.
就是你把它放在最后。
Then you ask, so you choose something you want to change and you ask this question.
当你有什么事情你是想要改变的时候，你就问自己这么一个问题。
Maybe you can write this in the chat, Brenda.
Okay.
What would someone have to believe who does this? Whatever it is you do, what would someone have to believe who does this?
你就可以问任何做成了这件事情的人，他们会相信什么呢？
You may not get the answer the first time. You may have to ask that question 10 or 15 times and come up with different answers until you come up with the right answer.
这个想法，你这个问题，你不是问1遍2遍，你得反复的去问，反复的去说服自己去思考这个问题。
So let's not use procrastination. I'd rather use the man who's had 14 divorces.
就比如说有一个离过14次婚的人。
Maybe ladies, you could answer this question. What would a man have to believe who has 14 failed marriages?
那可能女士们会知道答案，就是为什么这个离过14次婚的人，他是需要相信什么呢？
Can somebody suggest?
有谁可以给一些建议吗？这个离过14次婚的人，他有什么样的信念，他才会离过14次婚呢？大家可以打在对话框里，也可以开麦说。大家觉得这个人会有什么样的信念？
I'll go first.
我先来说。
Well, no, I'll give you a hint.
或者我给你一些提示。
Women are blank.
女性她都是空白的，就是她都是一张白纸。
Women are selfish.
女性都是自私的。
Women are disrespectful.
女性是不尊重人的。
Women are materialistic.
女性是很物质的。
Women are crazy.
女性很疯狂的。
And you can just see how he would have to be thinking this way because he ends up divorced every time.
因为他不停的这么去看待女性，他不停的这么去思考他的伴侣，所以他的婚姻就会以离婚结束告终。
Women should do whatever I say, whenever I say it, however I say it.
这个我的伴侣总是不按我说的做，不管我说什么，他都没有照我说的做。
So you ask this question to yourself. What would someone have to believe who does what you wrote down?
那你们认为他相信什么啊？就你们相信什么，你们就把它写下来。So there are some feedbacks on the chat.
So you did the exercise. What did they say?
你们是做这样一个练习Linda Levy said the partner is bad, and Gui said she is not suitable for me, and Lila Gopi said we should believe the woman's significant position, and Lila Gopi said we don't.
I know the I know the problem. He lives in Shanghai, so he married Shanghai women, and they all bossed him around, and so he divorced 14 times.
他我是并不知道他具体的一个想法是什么。这位奉献者他是住在上海，然后他离婚了。
Yeah. Anyway, we get the idea. They should obey me. Whatever I say, they should do.
就是他会想，我的妻子应该听从我，应该服从我，但是他却没有这么做。
So, I would like to ask you, did you come up? Did you discover any beliefs you have that are causing you to not be able to change something you want to change?
所以我们举这个例子的目的是说，请大家去做一个练习，来揭示你有什么样的隐形的信念，妨碍了你没有取得你以为你本该去成功获得的那些事情。
Anybody want to be brave and share something?
谁愿意有勇气
这个问
来
题知道吗？
喜悦想要提，喜悦嘛，他就 wants to ask a question. Yeah， 你说。
First, no, first,
我想提一
no.
个问题。
Not yet.
等一下。
Question, not yet. First, you have to answer my question.
你等一下，学马太吉。首先，你要回答郭汝提的这个问题，就是你们任何人可以勇敢的去揭示一下自己有什么潜在的信念妨碍了你达成你想成功的那件事情吗？你先勇敢的分享这个问题，然后你再询问你想要问的那个问题，好吗？
好，我觉得呢，我有一个信念系统。
Wait.
等一下。
I'm not taking questions yet.
She didn't take question. She want to share his
belief.
Oh,
okay. Good.
好，你分享。
对，我觉得我有个信念系统是觉得，我觉得每个人最终你说去奎斯纳那儿信佛教的，他去他的那个佛陀那儿，每个人在这一生当中都是去交自己的卷子的。就说每个人结业的那一刻的老师对他的评价也好，他的轮回也好，都是自己去交。所以我觉得别人跟我有太大的关系吗？那我只需要跟神有关系就行了噻。
你的意思是说，那这个信念妨碍了你什么呢？
妨碍了我就有些时候呢，我就会，当别人不听的时候，我去那个时候，我就觉得没有必要去那么样去劝说他，我把我自己做好就行了。
就是说，在人际关系上，你不会太主动和积极，对吧？
我是觉得就是说，可能。在这个时间段，我想要达成什么的时候，我比较积极。但是呢，如果我要去劝他做什么，苦口婆心的跟他去做那些事情，我是不会去做的，因为我觉得我觉得有这个必要吗？我点到为止就行了。我觉得各交各的卷，他最后可能我会有这样的一个，就是因为这个信念，我就觉得包括夫妻，包括我们家孩子。就如果是妈妈的话，有些就是苦口婆心的提他，有些时候我都不想去打他，我也不想太多的去说他，我就觉得他有他的轮回呀，他有他的那个呀，我那么多去弄，他也不见得去听我的呀。
So about the relationship, I have this faith. I think everyone is responsible for themselves. So. Our Krishna conscious practitioner, we will go to Krishna, and others believe something will go to their destination. So I think I have not much relationship with others. I just do my thing properly and go to my destination. That's my faith. So I will not be very enthusiasm and positive to be with others, including my husband, my child, etc.
Say the last sentence. I will. What?
I will not be very positive to deal with my relationship because I think we are responsible for our own beliefs. For example, I believe in Krishna consciousness, so I will go to Krishna consciousness. I don't care you or what you believe. What you believe, you are responsible for.
So What if your child believes they don't want to eat for the rest of their life? What do? You don't feed them?
那如果说你的孩子想要吃什么东西，那你也不关心吗？那他之后怎么办呢？就是
吃东西的话，我也现在吃东西是这样的，我做饭做的不大好吃嘛，所以他也不是很喜欢，我就尽量做的好吃一点。如果确实没办法，我就直接跟他说了，我就说妈妈也只能做成这个样子。
About take care of my children because I'm not very expert in cooking, so I will try my best. But if my child didn't like my dishes, so I will explain to her, you can take you what you like, or something else. I always try my best.
Yeah. I think she's misunderstood. I think she's misunderstanding what Krishna consciousness is. You are responsible for yourself. You're also responsible for your children. And you're also responsible for your husband. Even though they're responsible for themselves as well, you're also responsible.
我认为可能你在 Krishna 直觉上稍微有那么一些误解，就是你确实当你相信 Krishna 直觉的时候，你是对自己要有负责的，但同时你也需要对你的丈夫有负责有担当，你也需要对你的孩子负责。虽然他们是要为自己负责的，但是你对他们仍然是需要负责的。
Anyway, someone else want to share?
还有其他的伙伴们想要分享的吗？
不好意思，我的网络有问题，我前面那段后面听到了对他们负责，前面那一点点没听全。
Guru 的意思就是说，你在理解 Krishna 直觉上，你需要有更加正确的一个理解，就是虽然说你对自己负责任，但同时你对丈夫和孩子也是负有责任的。虽然他们彼此都是需要对自己承担起责任，但这个关系当中，你对他们也是需要负责的。能听到吗？
听到了，听到了。
好的。
这个都不是，我觉得这个不是我的最大的问题，最大问题是我跟其他人的关系上面，我就想问一下，神既然就说我们要跟 Krishna 建立关系，为什么会有那么多的人，他们起啥作用呢？我们周围有那么多的人，他们是让我们在这个过程当中去看到一些东西吗？我们跟其他人，比如说除了丈夫和孩子之外的人，我们有些什么样的是要回到那个四大职责当中去，比如说我是哪个阶层的，我去负那样的责任吗？还是说怎么样的？怎么来理解？
Guru Maharaj, she want to ask more about this question. Should we answer her question, or we
wait for a minute. I want to get other people to share. I want people to share a problem they have and what beliefs they discovered that's underlying the problem.
徐马大姐，关于您的问题的话，我们可以私下来再做详细的探讨。那现在呢，我们就是邀请其他的奉献者们来分享关于他们潜在的信念，就是什么样潜在的信念阻碍了自己去成功达成自己想要实现的目标。李丽萍said, I don't believe I will have a happy family, a happy marriage relationship.
Okay, where'd the belief come from?
那这个信念是来自哪里呢？
这个信念，我感觉是应该是来自我对父母的这个婚姻的看法。
This belief is come from the idea, the opinion of from my parents' marriage.
Oh, very good. I mean, it's not good that you feel that way, but it's good that you understand where it came from.
非常好，就是你看到了这个信念的一个来源，它是从何处而来。
What would you like to believe?
那你想要相信什么呢？
我现在肯定是相信我会有幸福的婚姻，但是那个现实其实就是因为我有了那个信念，然后所呈现的婚姻状态确实是就是不好，没有幸福的婚姻，
I
我不
would
相
like
信，
to I would like to believe I will have a happy family, happy marriage relationship, but in the but I believe I won't have this relationship before. So the reality reflects my
Yes.
belief.
So now you understand where your belief came from. Now you understand where your belief came from.
所以现在你是明白了，你的之前的那个信念是来自于什么呀？什么地方？
So do you think have you ever seen a good marriage?
你曾经有见过幸福的婚姻吗
没见过。
？No.
Really?
真的吗？
我原以为我以前的那种婚姻状，我要怎么解释呢？其实就是我其实以前是在这种我感觉是幸福的那种婚姻状态，但是我内在是觉得我好像不配有这样幸福的婚姻状态，所以后来就呈现了这样的一个状态，就是很矛盾嘛。
I thought I was in a happiness relationship, but I think I'm not worthy this relationship.
Oh, okay.
So later my relationship with my husband changed due to the situation.
So where did this idea that you're not worthy come from?
那关于你觉得你不配处在那段幸福关系当中，这个信念又是怎么来的呢？
这个信念其实我自己我也不是太清楚，但是我就感觉以前，因为我以前就有这么一个感觉，然后在应该是在5、6年以后就呈现了我觉得那个不好的状态。反正我就感觉就是这个到底这个后面的信念是为啥出来的，我就到现在我也不明白。
I'm not very clear. I just feel I'm not worthy. So after 5 or 6 years of marriage, the reality become worse. So I don't know what's behind of my what's my hidden belief. So I also want to consult Gurudev. Could you please give me some advice or some opinions about it?
This is a good example.
这是一个好例子，
We can learn from you.
我们可以从中去学习的一个好例子。
Most likely there was some experience you had in your life. Maybe you failed at something, or maybe someone made fun of you that made you feel like you were, or somebody made you feel like there's something wrong with you. That must have happened in this life or maybe in the past life.
这是一个好例子，就是我们的生活当中以往可能曾经发生过一些失败的经历或者体验，或者我们身边的人，他们对我们会有一种负面的这个评价，或者是就是不认为我们做某些事做得不够好。那这样从小到大的经历当中，就会让我们产生出一些认为我不行的这样的信念。
So when we go through life, either this life or past lives, we have experiences which form our beliefs.
所以当我们去回顾我们这一生，甚至它有可能是来自于上一世或者过去世的生活，那我们就会看看我们到底是发生了什么，导致了我们现在的这样一些想法和信念。
We have an interesting example here. you saw a bad marriage amongst your mother and father, and it registered a belief in you that it's impossible to have a good marriage.
就像我
Interesting.
们现在此时此刻的这个例子，你认为自己不会有一个成功的幸福的婚姻，那是因为你看到父母的婚姻当中他们就不成功不幸福，所以你就会说服自己我也不会有成功的幸福的婚姻，这样一个潜在的信念植入到你内心。
Some people whose parents have a bad marriage commit in their hearts to having a good marriage because they don't want to have a marriage like their parents.
但是有些人的父母他们的婚姻是不幸的，但是他们没有说服自己的婚姻是不幸的，所以他们也没有去重蹈父母的那个婚姻模式。
But what we're learning here from this example is that events in life are forming our beliefs.
所以这个例子就是说，实际上是因为我们相信我们告诉自己的内容，所以导致了我们的。
Now, Lily Ping, you're realizing where that belief that you can't have a happy marriage came from. It didn't come from you. It came from you seeing a bad marriage.
所以李丽萍，你要看到，实际上，当你有你想的这个我没有幸福婚姻的这个想法，它不是来源于你的生活本身，而是来源于你看到你的父母的生活，跟你其实是没有太大的关联的。
And without the belief you can have a good marriage, you probably won't have a good one.
所以如果你不是这么去把它强行的跟自己连接在一起，其实你相信自己，其实你本人是可以拥有幸福婚姻的，那你的生活就会随之改变。
So I have some good news for you, Lily Ping.
所以李丽萍，我跟你说一个好消息。
Might be the best thing you've heard in the last 10,000 years. Might be the best thing she's heard in the last 10,000 years.
在过去的10年当中in the last 10 years, what happened? 10,000 years. What happened?
I'm going to tell her something that's more valuable than anything she may have heard in the last 10,000 lifetimes.
现在我会告诉你一件非常非常有价值的事情，是你在过去10000年里都还没有听过的。
So, seeing something like your parents having a bad relationship, we've noted that is one way we get beliefs.
我们也以我们眼见的某些事情为事实，这是我们自己的一个信念。我们看到什么，我们相信它。
Or maybe you studied a book in China and it said, no one in China has a good marriage. And then you thought, okay, well, you can't have a good marriage. You read something.
你是通过你的阅历，比如说你看到你身边的中国人没有好的婚姻，你就认为我不可能有好的婚姻。你是以眼见来做判断。
Or you grew up and you had an uncle who had a bad marriage, who was always putting down marriage. And so you get affected by what you hear, what you see, what people tell you.
还有或者你看到你的叔叔他们没有好的幸福的婚姻，你就认为我身边的人都没有好的婚姻，你就以你身边的这些事实来给自己形成了判断。
So here's the good news. There's another way you get beliefs.
所以这就是一个好消息。你所看到的只是很有限的，你不必因为你所看到的而去形成对自己的信念。
You can decide what you want to believe.
你可以自己决定我想要相信什么。
So you see your parents and you think, I don't know if anybody could have a good marriage. And then you think, well, that's not a good belief to have. I'm going to believe I will have a good marriage. You can do that.
所以当你看到身边的这些人没有幸福婚姻的时候，你可以告诉自己，我可以拥有好的幸福婚姻， 我的幸福婚姻跟身边这些人实际上没有必然关系的。
Even though everyone you know had a bad marriage, you don't have to believe you'll have a bad marriage. You can decide, I'll have a good marriage. And if you decide you have a good marriage, there's a better chance you'll have a good one than if you believe nobody has a good marriage.
所以哪怕你身边的每一个人他们的婚姻都不幸，但是你仍然可以告诉自己，我可以拥有好的婚姻，这是我的一个选择。那这个选择胜过于你相信我身边没有一个好婚姻，所以我没有好婚姻的这样一个想法。
So no matter what you believe, you can decide what you would rather believe.
所以不论你相信什么，你仍然可以决定，你可以选择你要相信什么。
Now, if I were getting married, I'd want to believe we could make a good marriage. That just makes sense to believe that way, right?
所以我结婚了，我就会相信说，我肯定跟我的伴侣会有一段很好的关系，这就是我所相信的。
Lily Ping, I have something to tell you that's really going to help you a lot.
李丽萍，我还会告诉你一些事情，这些事情呢会帮助到你。
No matter who you are, no matter what you do, no matter what you think of yourself, no matter how guilty you feel, Krishna will always love you.
不管你以为你是谁，不管你曾经做过什么，不管你怎么想你自己，不管你带有多少的负罪感 ，Krishna 永远爱你。
Isn't that a better belief than I'm not worthy of having a good marriage? Isn't that better?
这是不是一个更加好的想法呢？比你认为我不配，我不值得，它是不是会一个更加好的想法呢？
I think it's better.
我认为它是一个更加好的想法。
What do you think, PC?
PC， 你认为呢？
Better than thinking I'm like a
Yes.
horrible person, nobody likes me. If God met me, he'd probably run away. No.
也许你认为我是一个可怕的人，然后哪怕神看到我都会跑开，是不是这是一个更好的想法呢？
Yes. Thank you.
感恩 Guru， Hare Krishna。
Thank you, Gurudev. My deep appreciation, Gurudev.
So you adopt these new beliefs, make these the new paradigms of your life.
所
I
以
can
李
have
丽
a good marriage and Krishna loves me and my husband loves me and my children love me. Yeah, then it'll all work out.
所以你需要去调整你的信念，你需要去调整你所相信的内容，然后你就会看到一个外在的改变。要相信我的家人，我的伴侣是爱我的，我的孩子们是爱我的。
You know, usually when you discover a belief, you can think, if you think about it long enough, you can see where it came from.
所以当我们去仔细审视我们的信念，去深深的思考的时候，我们可以追溯到这个信念是从何而来的。
Yeah, sometimes when I was young, I would be shy, especially around adults. But I wasn't shy. I just thought adults were scary.
那在我小的时候，就Guru小的时候，他会很害羞，然后他会害羞到躲到门背后。
Or sometimes I thought people were scary.
然后他会觉得，人会很可怕，就是会吓到他。
So the shyness was just thinking people are scary. And then I realized they're not really scary. And then the shyness goes away.
然后因为他的这个害羞，是因为他会觉得那些人很可怕，他会有些害怕那些人。当他改变了这个信念，他其实这些人并没有那么可怕的时候，他的害羞自然就消失了。
Sometimes we don't trust people because we believe they're not trustworthy. And sometimes that's true, but sometimes it's not.
有时因为是我们对他人不信任，所以导致了一些问题。这个不信任有时候是事实，但有时候并不是事实。
Maybe I met a Chinese man in America and he sold me something. And later I found out he sold it for twice the price. Now I don't trust any Chinese people, all 1.2 billion Chinese people. I don't trust any of them.
就比如说，我遇到了一个中国人，他失信了，他不守信用，然后我就会认为这所有的中国人都不值得相信。
Now I'm going to China to teach Bhagavad Gita. Probably better I trust people, right? Don't you think? That would be better.
那我现在就要我要去中国教授博家梵歌，那这就是我对大家的一个信任，对吗？我宁愿选择我相信他人。
I think, oh, that's why I don't trust them, because of this experience. Then I think that's really stupid to believe that from one experience. That's really stupid. And then I just throw it away. I don't want to live my life like that. That doesn't make sense.
所以我不会因为我仅仅一次的一个偶尔的经历，就去全盘否定了整个群体。不会因为我一次碰到一个不值得相信的人，就否定了所有的人都不值得我相信。我把这个想法抛之脑后，那我就可以正确的去做我想做的事情。
So Lily Ping, just because your parents didn't have a good relationship, it's kind of stupid to think you won't, isn't it? It has nothing to do with you, right?
所以李丽萍，仅仅因为说你看到你的父母的婚姻不幸福，你就否定了你自己的婚姻，那这是一个很愚蠢的想法。你要把这个想法抛之脑后。
Sometimes we have difficulty in Krishna consciousness and we chant a mantra and it goes like this: I'm a bad devotee.
所以有时候当我们修习 Krishna 知觉的时候，我们给自己设立了一个 mantra， 这个 mantra 就是我是一个不好的奉献者。
Why am I a bad devotee? Because I got up 2 minutes after my alarm went off. Therefore, I'm a bad devotee. And now I become depressed and I start acting like a bad devotee. Not very smart.
为什么我是一个不好的奉献者呢？因为我没有按时的起来去做我的去念诵，然后我就认为我是一个不好的奉献者，所以我通过这个事情来就是否认了自己。
Not a good way to think, not a good belief to have if you want to be Krishna conscious.
这不是一个好的思维方式，也不是我们 Krishna 知觉当中一个很好的想法。
When you have prema, you'll think that way, but it'll help you.
当你有 prema 的时候，你就不会这么想，你就会对自己有健康的一个想法。
That's different.
那是不同的。
Krishna doesn't care about me. How about that belief?
Krishna 一点都不在乎我。我们看看这样一个信念。
That's not a good belief to have if you're a devotee.
那不是奉献者应该有的一个信念。
Well, if Krishna doesn't care about me, why should I care about me? So, I'm throwing these beads away. Like, why should I care? He doesn't care.
就是我们会想 Krishna 一点都不在乎我，我为什么要在乎我自己？然后我就会把我的念珠在扔得远远的，因为我认为他一点都不关心不在乎我。
Have you ever felt like that?
你们曾经有这种感受过吗？这样去感受过吗？
If you have, you really want to change your beliefs about how Krishna feels about you.
所以如果你们曾经这么去感受认为过的话，那最好我们就要去改变自己的信念，去重塑自己的信念。
Here's another belief.
还有另外一个信念，
I'm the only one with this problem.
我是唯一有这个问题的人。
You ever think like that?
你们这样想过吗？
It's not true.
不是真的。
If you think you're the only one with this problem, it's like you feel like Lord Brahma or some demigod cursed you, and you'll never be Krishna conscious. Not a good way to think.
如果你认为你是唯一拥有这样的一个问题，你是唯一做的不好的这样一个人，那其实这是一个你对自己的诅咒，其实这不是事实。
How about this one? I'll never overcome this problem.
那我们试着换另外一个想法，就是我可以克服这些问题。
You ever think like that?
你
Well-
如果这样想呢？
I want to make a guarantee to you if you think that way.
如果你想我总是能克服我的所有困难障碍的话，那我可以向你保证，
If you have a problem and you think you will never overcome it, you are 100% right. You won't.
如果你认为你没有办法克服障碍，我可以告诉你，你100%正确，
Until you stop thinking that way.
除非直到你放弃这个想法为止。
I have a problem and I want to overcome it. Personally, I think I'm going to be able to overcome it, and I just have to figure out how to do it. I don't tell myself you can never overcome it, because I know if I tell myself you never overcome it, I will not try.
因为如果我告诉自己我没有办法克服所有这些障碍的时候，我就不会去想办法如何来去克服这些障碍，我也不会去尝试，所以我就没有办法克服这些障碍。
So just look at your beliefs and see and ask just this one question. Is this belief helping me or is it harming me? And if it's every belief that's harming you, then try to think, what would be a belief I can replace this with that would help me?
所以当我们有某一个信念的时候，我们要问问自己，这样一个信念是帮助到我呢，还是损害到我？如果这个信念损害到我，那我可以用什么新的信念来替代它？
Haribo? Hello?
Just me.
Oh, you want to go on a walk?
You can talk after.
It's my daughter. I guess
OK
she has rounds left or something.
我的女儿，在跟她打招呼。
Come in. Come in and see my new office. Yeah, so that's something we can leave today for you to think about.
所以这就是我们今天要学习的一些内容。你们大家认为
Whatever you're trying to do, you want to formulate your beliefs to support what you're doing.
就是当你相信什么的时候，你需要去评估，就是你所信的这个内容对你的影响。
And whatever your belief is, just ask yourself, well, what if I could believe anything, what would I like to believe about this?
就是你可以问自己这个问题，其实我是可以选择相信任何东西的，为什么我要相信这一条呢？
Pretty simple, right?
是不是很简单的？
Start with that. Just get the beliefs in order and discover the beliefs that are working against you.
所以要去揭示是什么样的信念，它阻碍了你，跟你想达成的是违背的。
Can you chant good rounds?
你要念好的圈数。
Now, what would be, if you want to chant good rounds, what belief would you want to have?
那为了念诵好的圈数，我们应该拥有什么样好的信念来保证、来支持到我们做这样的行为呢？
I welcome the holy names. I enthusiastically welcome the holy names every japa session. That's the first affirmation.
在我们的圣名的那个声明当中，第一条就是我们欢迎圣名，我们迎接圣名，我们欢迎他的这个神圣的到来。
Bienvenidos, mi japa, con entusiasmo.
带着热情念诵加帕，
Attraction, affection.
带着情感吸引。
Yeah. I can do this. I can do this.
我可以做到的，念诵好的加帕，
You have to have that belief.
这就是我的信念。
I can be Krishna conscious in this lifetime.
在这一世，我也可以拥有完全的 Krishna 知觉。
You have to have that belief.
你必须要有这样的信念。
Very important.
非常重要。
Yes?
嗯，
And then you say, how do I get it if I don't have it? And I say, just believe it. That's how you get it. You just believe it. There's no trick. Because if you don't believe that, you're going to believe the opposite. And obviously that's a better belief to have. And whatever you believe, your mind is just going to say, this is true.
所以那你们大家会问我怎么样才能拥有那样的想法呢？我就告诉你，就是去拥有那样的想法，去拥有那些正面的想法。因为如果你不拥有这些想法，如果你去相信那些阻碍你的想法，那么我们的心意的特点就是他告诉你什么你就相信什么，心意就是接受，所以你自己选择接受什么，它就会影响到你。
So we have to stop here.
那今天我们就讲到这里。
Otherwise, I could go on for about 35 hours on this topic.
我可以继续讲这个话题，再说35个小时都没问题。但今天我们的
There's
时间
always we'll continue next week, and you can think about what I said this week, and you'll probably have lots of questions.
那下周我们继续这个话题，大家可以去仔细的想想自己所拥有的信念，然后如果有任何问题，下周的时候可以提出来。
So we didn't take questions today because I wanted to do this interactive exercise.
我们想要做一个互动的这样一个练习，所以大家下来要去好好的想想。
But you can write your questions down.
大家可以把问题先写下来，写在对话框里。我们下周
And
的时候，
I'll begin next week's class with your questions.
下周我们就以答疑为开始。There are many questions that are sent to me, so I will record this, copy these questions.
Copy the question. So tell everybody that their questions will be answered next week.
大家的问题在下周都会得到解答。
Same time, same station.
时
Okay.
间 OK，
Now it's time to say goodbye.
那现在我们就要跟大家说再见了。Thank you very much.
I can say goodbye in Japanese. How do you say goodbye in Chinese? I forgot.
再见，再
What?
见，再见，再见。
Tai Chin. Tai Chin.
再见。
I can't say that. Sayonara, Japanese, easier.
在那儿，再见 ，Hare Krishna 是
Tai Chin. Tai Chin. Like Tai Chi. Tai Chin. Okay. So I'm going to end the meeting and everyone will disappear in a second. Okay.
要关视频了，大家就消失了。
Hare
Bye
Krishna.
bye.
Hare